What's happening? What's going on? K Mega 405 coming to you live from the 405 where I'm just your regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers out there. Boy, do I have a doozy of things I want to talk about tonight. Oh man, so I'm better not even take all the time to be going into like some other little rants and stuff like I normally do, because there's a lot I want to get into, even some news that just dropped in here. So anyway, if you are new to the channel, man, thank you for coming through. Hey, and if you like the content, or if you stop through from time to time and check out the content, it does not hurt you at all to go ahead and hit that subscribe button or that member button, or whatever the case may you want to do to help support the channel, man. It would definitely be great and appreciate it, no doubt. So, man, let's just get to it. All right. So the first thing, the last thing that I was going to talk about tonight was about the potential of whatever Xbox game was going to be coming out that was Shadow Drop. What's happening with you, Francis? And there was rumors about Killer Instinct. There was rumors about Conquer. There's rumors about I know there's other people been talking about Quantum Break 2. That would be great. Rise 2. But whatever, it's a sequel to a game that has already been is part of the Xbox franchise. So again, there, it could be High Five Rush 2. And either way, any of those would be fantastic. Hell, it could be ReCore 2 for all I know and I care. I would love it for any of those games to be dropping. But right before I get on here, I sit here and I'm reading something that's from an insider. And listen, the insiders has been on a messy push here lately where they have been completely wrong. So I don't know, but there could be some actual truth to this because of the fact that even I haven't even heard anything about Killer Instinct here, even from the people that I usually talk to. And I've been concerned about it, still just having the hope. But anyway, this is according to somebody here named Nick Baker. And he says, according to the insider, Nick Baker has revealed Xbox would have recently canceled a new installment of the legendary fighter saga. The project, which is Killer Instinct he's talking about. He says the project was in the hands of a Japanese studio. It's completely ruled out that the mysterious Xbox announcement for Gamescom has anything to do with this franchise. A huge bucket of cold water for the fighting game community, which has been waiting for years for a successor on this level of a 2013 reboot. Now, again, it is a rumor, just like anything else with what's going on about this Shadow Drop game. And Killer Instinct to me wouldn't be a game that you would, especially if it's a sequel. If it's like a Killer Instinct, like another enhanced version, like they did just about maybe almost 2 years ago, which is really, really good. The game runs great. But if they wanted to do like some kind of crazy updated to where like they did it off of Unreal Engine 5 or something like that, then I could definitely see that maybe being a Shadow Drop being announced at Gamescom, because the game is over 10 years old. I mean, we're talking about like a game that's 12, 13 years old now. So yeah, it would make sense to do a Shadow Drop for that. But for a sequel of Killer Instinct, I didn't think that would be a possibility, but I did want to kind of end the show with that, because to me, you know how it makes me giddy, makes me excited. I just want to be just a part of it, right? So yeah, no, but to hear this, and there's been so many rumors that I've heard in compliance with about Killer Instinct, was that of course, that they were looking to want to try to find a Japanese company to work on it. They were trying to work with them with Bandai Namco, and try to find something that in the realm, because they were talking about wanting to make a fighting lineup. Like the first thing that they wanted to do, the two fighters that they wanted to kind of push out and manifest out there was a brawler, kind of like Smash Brothers, with all kind of Xbox's iconic characters, plus also because now, since of course you know I've talked about it before with the ABK deal, and then everything else Blizzard, like it would have been epic. And then also bringing another Killer Instinct, which I think, and then kind of build off of that, and then maybe going back and try to add some of their older IPs, or maybe trying to, maybe acquire another studio that, for like, try to see if they could try to have a license deal with Tecmo for another Dead or Alive to make it exclusive or timed exclusive or something like that. There was all types of rumors floating around with that, which got me very, very, very excited. And when also bringing in Matt Booty, having his connections with Midway, going back to the Mortal Kombat days, like it kind of just all set itself up. Now, again, that's not saying that that wasn't a thing that could happen or wasn't in the works, but all with everything else that's been going, plus the turnover, of course, you could see that things could just change up. But this is what's crazy to me. Just a couple of years ago at Evo, there were Iron Galaxy that came up there on the stage and was talking about that they're working on Killer Instinct. And so then when I sit there and went to the people that I talked to, like they were like, oh yeah, it's they're working on it. There's some red tape, but whatever. So the Japanese company thing could definitely be pulled out, which I didn't think. Like if Iron Galaxy is back on it, then of course, then there wouldn't need to be an Arc System Works or whatever, because there were so many people that was bringing up different names of Japanese studios to work on Killer Instinct. So to me, I was kind of like, well, if Iron Galaxy is back on it and it's just perfect, it makes just absolutely the best sense. But they were also working on a game for Amazon. And so they needed to get that done first. And then they were supposed to be going into working on Killer Instinct from the information that I was gathering. So anyway, other than that, do I think that this game is dead? I think that definitely the Japanese studio aspect of it is dead. I just don't see that and like I said, I just posted this right before I got on. It was that, listen, if I come to find out that the Xbox management, for some dumbass, foolish reason, to sit there and to cut ties and not want to do Killer Instinct because obviously the person or the people who thought about doing that don't know anything about like what Xbox needs, in the sense of they have a fighter that did very, very well, right? And so if they got something that's doing very well, that did very well, that sold very well, that still has popularity, there's still people that, it's crazy. There's still more people playing this game between the Xbox and the PC than games that came out last year. That's trust me, it has a place. That's another genre that you add into the space of Xbox games, Xbox Game Studios. You made a great, fantastic fighter, just a game, period. And every time that I bring that game, and I haven't brought it back in Fight Night for a very long time. I plan on doing that this week. I'm still going to go back and play some Tokon, but I was going to go ahead and try to play some Killer Instinct because I haven't played it in a while. And every time that I play Killer Instinct, I draw a really good crowd. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just because of the fact of the game is it just has that. And so I would, like I said, I would rip Xbox management's ass for making a dumb decision and canceling the game. If the studio aspect of it, the Japanese studio thing, I can see that if Iron Galaxy is working back on the game. But because again, so it would be great. But to not hear anything here lately, it has been kind of nerve-wracking for me. And I would be such a miss if they did cancel that. So again, it's still a rumor from an insider. There's been a lot of insiders that's been completely off. I think, again, with the Japanese aspect of it, yeah, that was already cooked. I mean, and you already look and see that Arc System Works has already been working on like Tokon for PlayStation, so they wouldn't even have the time to work on a Killer Instinct, especially on other titles that they're doing, plus the DLCs for Strive, and they added a new character and DBZ Fighters and all that, whatever. So that's the thing. So I just wanted to just touch bases on that. I still have hope, because this is kind of old news, especially if Iron Galaxy is still working on the project. But like I said, I haven't heard anything from in a minute, and the turnover with a new CEO, with new management. There's people out there that don't really look at fighting games the same way that Just like the same way they look at sports games, they kind of scoff at those type of games. And really, in reality, if you really want to have a great portfolio, you need every genre that you possibly can get. And you also had this game. This was different if Killer Instinct was chopped liver and it didn't do well. It was one of the best selling games on the Xbox One in the era where Xbox was getting dog walked, publicly, in the sense of, from the media and reviews and everything like that. Just the console itself did not get the love that I felt like it deserved. It was a great console. I mean, the lineup of games towards the end of the life cycle of the Xbox One was abysmal. But other than that, the console was not a bad console. But it was still a bad mark. It was a black eye, but Killer Instinct was not that black eye. So anyway, let's move on, man. There's like I said, there's so much more to talk about. That was just an added little piece to it. So, I mean, where do I start? All right, so I guess I'll just start off with this Wolverine situation, man. The hate is absolutely real, and there's other reasons. And listen, and again, I don't want to come off as making it seem like that I just everything I do is just want to try to shit down Sony's leg. But the fact of it is, man, like I've been on this for years about saying Sony's practices is just not up to the standard of what I knew and loved with PlayStation. And as somebody who's been a avid PlayStation gamer, like, I mean, of course I'm not as big on playing on PlayStation like I used to, because I'm more of an Xbox PC gamer now, but still, I got much love for PlayStation. I always will. And it's just Sony. I got Sony products everywhere. Can't sit there but see, that's the reason why I am objective, and I will continue to be objective. But see, the stuff that I was saying years ago about where Sony was headed, people wasn't trying to listen to that. They had an excuse. Their whole excuse and their whole ideology and this, that, and the third was about the console sales, the reviews, and this, that, and the third for their games. And I tried to break this down to people to say, listen, man, this thing right here is like, there's an agenda going on. And they want the wool over your eyes. Now, people, it's crazy that it took something like the taking away the hard copy games in 2028 is what has like bolstered this new climate, this new awareness about like PlayStation's practices, because people are bringing up stuff that we talked about years ago, like from on GRG or just on before I even did my thoughts, like even when I was on other podcasts and things like that. And people would just jump on me. They were telling me I was wrong, I was stupid, I didn't know what I was talking about. And now here we are. But that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Now you know, and so now you're paying attention. Now this whole thing with Wolverine, it goes back to something that I said a while back that I got a lot of criticism for, was talking about the template. Talking about PlayStation has this same kind of template. And it's not to be disrespectful in a sense, it's just what they do. It's what's worked for them. And it seems like now with a game that looks like it's going to be really, really big for them, looks like this might be something that might be a problem. And you know what I'm saying? Like, will the game sell? It will sell. That I have no doubt that it will sell. And just the name alone is going to get about good 1.5 million. Just the name of Wolverine, and you see Wolverine on the package. You know what I'm saying? Like that's enough, right? So, and yeah, this shirt here is wild. Here, it's meant to be messy towards those that have been wronged, the youth. And so anyway, so if you see and kind of read it, it is definitely an insult. But anyway, so the what bothers me about this situation is that, like, when I brought up about God of War 2018, and I said it looks Rise-ish, like, to see this new look. And this was kind of the thing to me, was like, okay, is this going to work? I mean, I've told the story a million times about like how I was not all in from everything that I read for the small stuff that I seen with God of War 2018 before it came out. And then, you know, I began to understand it. I fell in love with it after I played it. So I was just like, okay, it's solid. It's solid. They had its moments, but still it was solid. But the game reminded me of Rise, like that over the shoulder look. And I was just like, man, like the just the way that the game moved and things like that. Now, again, it was way more enhanced than Rise. Rise was a launch title for a game in 2023. This game, this game was developed towards the end cycle of the PlayStation 4, so it had its combat and everything was much more detailed. Now, I still think that Rise's story was really, really good, but for what you got back in 2013 to even for what you see and play Rise still holds up graphically. That's a testament to Treyarch and their engine and all that. But I said, like, listen, PlayStation games just has this same template. It's just the same. They don't deviate. And so what made PlayStation on the PlayStation 4 generation look like it did was the fact that they were smart to, and something that they've always done, that made it look like it had so much more variety, which it did because it had all these exclusive deals. And so, oh yeah, Michael Turner, it does. It still looks good. And so that was the thing to me. It was just like, okay, I got you. It's, you know, I'm looking at The Last of Us 2 or The Last of Us, and I'm looking at, and I'm just saying, okay, these games, the PlayStation games themselves, the PlayStation first party games, back in the days, back in the PlayStation 1 through 3, you had that type of variety. You had games like Warhawk, you had Siphon Filter, you had all these other games, Legend of Legaia, I've said tons of these games, Xenogears, all these great, and Final Fantasy, all these games, right? But then now when we also now starting to find out that these games were multi-plats at the end, they didn't own those games. Now they did own a few, but then like studios shut down, things like that, whatever. And it didn't have the variance when you started getting towards the middle of the PlayStation 4 generation. Now to the PlayStation 5 generation, it is just all the same. Now somebody would say, well, what about Phantom Zero or Phantom Blade Zero? Well, that shocked the hell out of me. Me and Kano did a reaction video, so go check that out on Game Section, on Gamer Section, on that channel. Links in the description, and check us out. And it looked, it looked fantastic, looked great, but it tripped us out that we found out that game was a timed exclusive. So I'm like, what? And so that also shows you the desperation of how bad this generation has been for PlayStation 5. That would have been a no-brainer. And when you go back and you look at Nier Automata and Hellblade, and then you had the Yakuza games and Persona, and then you also had the PlayStation first-party titles and all that's because those games were exclusive on the PlayStation. So there was tons of variety. You Ratchet and Clank and all of that. It's like, okay, yeah, Xbox over here, they got a couple of little bangers, but then you trying to set this up against what PlayStation is offering it towards the end of that of last generation. And then you had, even though I thought Recore was really cool, I thought Sea of Thieves, how I was in love with Sea of Thieves and stuff like that. So but there wasn't no comparison, right? So that to me is the difference now. Where we've flipped the script and seeing how Xbox is been bringing out all these different varieties. They've been doing this all this generation. The first year of Xbox, not so much, but after that, man, they really got it cranking on top of everything with Game Pass, all that, right? So anyway, I say all this to say this: Wolverine, and listen, I don't want to be totally disrespectful towards the developers in Insomniac, but man, y'all gotta stop acting like y'all soft, like wet toilet paper. Come on, guys, please. Everybody gets criticized. You know what I'm saying? This, you know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. The good work that you guys have done. Yeah, the game looks good, but there's things that are off with it. Like Sabretooth looks. And I've always tried to be the glass half full kind of guy. I always try to, I'll give you the sour and then I give you a little bit of the sweet. I can't give you no sweet about Sabretooth. Sabretooth looked awful in the sense of just he don't look he had looked like that would be Sabretooth's younger brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't know. But it just like what? And I know that people have been talking about Wolverine, but I'm assuming that this is supposed to be set to where Wolverine. This is kind of like his origin, right? So of course he's going to look younger. I did see like a concept of maybe what they wanted to make him look like, and then they kind of pulled back on it. Or maybe that was somebody else's drawing where they made him more hairy because Wolverine is a hairy dude, right? So, and I was like, oh man, they could have kept that concept, but maybe just because of the fact of um, whoever the powers that be, management, they were like, no, make him look younger. So I'm not going to knock the Wolverine look too much because, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know where it's going to go through the story. But it sounds like for everything that we see, it's more of a situation where it's more, you know, it's an origin, and then it kind of fades out. Like it might be narrated in a sense to where how Wolverine got started from maybe one of the older X-Men or something like that, and then like you finally get to a point to where everything comes together, and then Wolverine is now more mature and out. I don't know. I don't know. Well, you'll find out. You know what I'm saying? People will find out. But it's the same stuff. It's the same. It is Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2018, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man's Miles Morales in just a different form where you have different characters. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like yes, the combat, I'm pretty sure the combat's going to be insanely fun, right? Like it looks dope. But I mean, I don't know. Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know what was going on with that. Hold on, let me check something out here, see if there was something that interfered with that. Anyway, sorry about that. But the whole thing with how it's, I don't mind fetch quests and stuff like that, but like, okay, the one thing that I thought on Spider-Man, the fetch quest where you go find the backpacks, I thought that was cleverly done. I didn't mind that. I thought that was fun. Or doing those, what was it? Taskmaster stuff in Spider-Man. I thought that was fun. Like I didn't have no problem with that. Or like when you was doing the stuff with Scorpion, that it didn't bother me. It didn't bother me. But you just but I'm nervous about what is Wolverine's fetch quests. And it looks like he's going to be doing a lot of chasing people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm nervous about that. Like, will these fetch quests not be as what's because Spider-Man 2's fetch quest, I mean, like I didn't beat Spider-Man 2 yet. Like I lost interest in it, but I'm definitely gonna go back and beat it. I didn't have a problem with. Now, in Miles Morales, there was fetch quests that I wasn't particularly I didn't care about, but I did it. It was the little uh bombs, like stopping the bombs. Maybe that was in Spider-Man 2. There was some kind of similarities between Spider-Man 2018 and Miles Morales. But anyway, and it kind of was like, oh, okay, I'm done with this. But I did it, you know, so, but because I was like, I'm already committed to it. But I don't know. What is Wolverine's fetch quest going to be? It's going to be kind of wild to me. So, yeah, I definitely need to do that. I need to sit there and see if I'm still, let me know if I'm still rolling. I think I am. Yeah, I should be. But it did stop. I've seen that it stopped on me, but hopefully I'm still alive. I just need to recheck. Hold on. Hopefully I'm still on here. Let's see. Uh, I don't know. Yeah, let me know in the chat. Um, Dang it. Here, I want to look at this right here. I usually have another screen to know exactly, but I didn't open that other screen. So hold on for a second. Let me check. Right here in a second. Yeah. How about that? Anyway, hold on. Okay, okay. It's showing it's still. Okay. Yeah, we good. All right. Okay. So sorry about that. All right. I just wanted this because it showed it unconnected and reconnected, and I just see that like this screen is steel, so it's kind of crazy. Um. Oh, now I can hear my voice. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, we're back. So I just need to let me see. Sinestral J says, and welcome. He says, in my opinion, it's the Venom game, Skeleton over Wolverine. Now, see, I haven't even got to the Venom part yet of Spider-Man 2, so I don't know. So that's where the situation is weird to me. So let me hit this. This should work for me right now because it's annoying the hell out of me. Okay. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, there we go. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Anyway, so the Venom situation. He said the Venom game skeleton over Wolverine. Yeah, I see now. I didn't know that yet because I have not. I never got that far in Spider-Man 2 to play with Venom and stuff like that. Now, if that's the case, that's even worse. Now, I also know that they go crazy. They went crazy and um with like I seen the public go crazy about the situation with the Sentinel fight. Uh, yeah, I mean, and that's another thing too, where game developers need to be a little bit more original. I think, and to me, that's why I loved Crimson Desert so much because there was so many bosses, or even like Elden Ring. Like if you go but I'm going to just stick because the latest game I'm thinking of on top of my head is Crimson Desert. Like when you fought bosses, yeah, you hack and slice, but there was so many different kind of bosses. Like there was so many bosses in Crimson Desert, and I mean there's still tons of them. Like I beat the game story mode, but I have not like maxed out the other two characters. Well, I guess since I maxed out Cliff, the other things, but I know that they added another patch, so I want to play with the other two characters in there as well. But like there was one boss battle, and it really wasn't kind of like you had to kill the boss. You just had to go get something off of its body. So like it was a big tree monster, like it was huge. So you had to try to find a way to climb up on a tree. So like there was cool ways that you could do it. You could kind of sling off of two trees and catapult yourself in the air to kind of softly land on the tree, or you could try to crawl up the tree, the tree monster, or being or whatever, and then like we try to shake you off or whatever. Like there was, or you try to get on a horse and ride up and try to catch it like in the mountains or what. Man, see creative ways like that. So like if you're gonna play a Sentinel, like you don't have to make the Sentinel like incredibly insanely big. Like, what I'm saying? Like, I mean, unless you talk about Hive Mind, but or is the what is it, Master Mold, whatever his name is, the main Sentinel. Um, but still, like, but and I know Sentinels can be big at different sizes, but you can make it to where it could be Wolverine could crawl up on it, jump on it, stuff like that. Not the same like arm form. I can say too, I am kind of sick of that. We've played that forever with really big bosses. Unless you're going to do something really nuts, which I know that there's been games that's added another little flavor or wrinkle to it, which is cool. So I don't know, man, but it it's pretty crazy to me. It's pretty crazy. So anyway, um, the actual just going after Sony the way people are, and especially this Wolverine game. Like normally, like I said, I've never seen this before. I've never seen this before. And the devs to me is like when they take into criticism, man, listen, I talking about like, I mean, granted, I feel like everybody should step away from social media for a little while, take a break. You don't have to live off of the net. But man, that should give you more motivation for the next game that you're going to be making, because they're going to be making a X-Men game. So, and I understand the crunch and all this and trying to make the game work for whatever, but I think that the way that management keeps working out at Sony, it's really too stale. It's worked for 30 years. But even out of those 30 years, there were so many original ideas and new things. And of course, it's going to be really, really, really hard to try to do something totally original. I get that. But it also makes people think that you're just kind of throwing these things in, which I know better. I know these devs work hard. But when your one of your best presentations is the Sentinel boss battle arm fight, like, I mean, again, another game, High Five Rush, they had a boss battle. Like, that's one of the first boss battles you fight in High Five Rush. It's one or the second one. I can't remember the chick. She could have been the like the teacher chick or whatever, but the kind of buff chick. I don't know if she was the first boss or she was the second boss. I can't remember. But anyway, in High Five Rush, you had a boss battle too. But because the game was so different with the way that you used rhythm and there was also some really cool sequences in that fight. I'm sure that there'll be some cool sequences, but again, it's going to be more of the PlayStation template where you're jumping in and you're going to do the quick button sequences. You got to hit square, had to hit triangle, maybe roll the analogs or something like that to it. But it's going to be all just kind of done for you instead of you trying to break it down yourself. And I'm not saying that, like, I mean, it works, but it shouldn't work in every game that PlayStation makes. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And I think people are just getting tired of it. And that's crazy. And I know that, and I hate that for the developers themselves, just getting all this backlash. But it also just comes to the point to where it's gotten to a point where it's gotten old. It's getting stale. And listen, if there's stuff that I've been seeing that I played back when I was, going back to stuff with PlayStation games, going back to the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, and then you see that reoccurrence again. Of course, so I don't know, man, but it is pretty nasty. Michael Turney says, I'm trying to figure how Disney is allowing them to make this exclusive and the X-Men game. Sony don't have the rights to them, last I checked. That is true, but I just think that, like, that could be part of negotiations because of the Spider-Man situation. Like, okay, we want to work on a Wolverine game. And then, like, okay, we see the numbers for Spider-Man. We're going to be working on the Spider-Man movie and blah, blah, blah. And so again, like and we could be completely surprised and find out that Wolverine could be a timed exclusive in 3 years. Who knows? I mean, it could be a 3-year timed exclusive like the Final Fantasy remakes were. Who knows? Who knows? It doesn't appear to be that, but you're right. It is kind of wild. And I don't know. We'll just see about that going forward. But I do agree. But because Sony's putting their money behind the studio that they own, Sony just wants to have everything in-house. So I think it all has to correlate and work with negotiations with the Spider-Man movies, with the Spider-Man movies, and then also with, like, now Sony just want to say, look, we want to work on these other games that you're going to be working on movies for. And since the recipe has been working for them with the game selling, then I guess Disney looked at it like, okay, we can do that. So, no harm, no foul. But, and that's a major but. And that's why Sony's management when it comes to, like, promotion and the ideas of how they want to, like, gravitate with the public, they're smart as hell with that because of the fact of, okay, we've seen the popularity with Deadpool Wolverine. Well, Wolverine is a very recognizable character, always have been. He's like, going back to grandparents that read comics and things about that. Then you look at like my generation, or I should say our generation, Gen X, and then you look at that, you go through those X-Men, through the millennials era, then you now looking at like stuff with, like I said, with Deadpool, Wolverine, all that. You have all these generations that knows about Wolverine, Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, stuff like that. So it's smart for them to bring it out and present it, because more people know about Wolverine than they do a lot of the X-Men characters. So we'll see how that is. And I'm sure that they're going to wait until after when the X-Men movie that Marvel drops shows that, and also what they're going to do in Secret Wars and also Doomsday. So they'll get people that'll be more familiar with the X-Men. So then like Sony can go ahead and then kind of throw whatever they're going to throw out there. So it makes sense. Like I said, it makes sense. But if one of those games don't hit, Disney will definitely say, okay, yeah, nah. Just like Square Enix told Sony, yeah, okay, we're done with this. We're done with this. We're done with this. Everything's going back to be a multi-plat. So that's where we're at with that. So I think that it just takes one game. It just takes one game now. And I don't think Wolverine is going to be that game that's going to that's not going to work out for him. I think the game is going to sell really well. But do I think there's going to do Spider-Man 2 numbers? I don't know, man. I really don't. I have no idea. I have no clue. You would hope it would. For Sony's sake, you better hope it would. But who knows? In the climate of where we're at right now, like I said, we're in so much uncharted territory as gamers. On top of this, seeing Sony getting filleted out here in the gaming streets and just in public in general. Like, I mean, this stuff has reached out to people that don't even pay attention to the gaming space like that about what Sony's doing and their marketing practices and stuff like that. It is really, 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 really different out there. So that's different. So anyway, I just think that the whole, the PlayStation template has gotten old. And people are now starting to recognize it. Like I said, for the stuff that I used to get hit across the head for saying like God of War 2018 looked Rise-ish. It does. If you played both games, you definitely know that there's a similar vibe to it. Also, just like with just PlayStation, how they just make their games, it is always it's gotten to the point to where they feel safe with that style and don't want to take any type of chances. So it looks like that it's starting to change. People want a little bit more from them. So we'll see. We will see. So anyway, let's move on from that. There was something else new that just dropped, and this real quick is just basically talking about seeing that Xbox has started testing a new immersed background mode on Xbox Series S and X, and it fades away the Xbox Home UI so you can fully see your background. It's currently in testing with the Xbox Insider, so I will definitely be testing that out here. I'm sure that there was a patch because there was a download on my Xbox the other day. I don't know if that was, so I'm just going to look and see if there's one here probably after I get off here. But yeah, no, it will be fire. That will be really dope. The evolution of what they've done with the Xbox UI system has been absolutely incredible. Like, I've always thought that PlayStation had a much superior UI over Xbox in any capacity. The closest thing I thought was maybe was a 360 with the blades, but still PlayStation's just their UI was just always been epic. So for Xbox to do this the way that they're doing it, yeah. I'm liking that. I'm digging that a lot. I really am digging that a lot. So anyway, that was another quick thing. But let's move on. Let's talk about Marvel's Tokon. Listen, it is incredible to me. And let me just make this point here too. This is what's wild. Okay, so last week I made a prediction. I sit here and I was just like, you know what? Hold on, hear me out, people. Hear me out. And I'm like, if I'm wrong, then I can get cooked for that. I have no problem for that. It's me putting on the tinfoil hat and just kind of just observing the situation. And what I was bringing up about Token was on the PC side of things was like, okay, so hold up, Arc System Work did a patch to try to refix the game to get the game more stabilized, all this, that, and the third in less than a week. Like that patch came just a couple of days ago. And I'm sitting here thinking like, whoa, 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 because what everybody was saying was like, it's going to take months for the game to get patched because that's usually how that works. And so I'm like, I've never seen a patch. Like now with Crimson Desert, it was really impressive of how fast that they would patch things, but they were very familiar with doing that because of them working on Black Desert and things like that. So they have a live service, so they know exactly how to do that. So that's what was very unique about Crimson Desert. Well, Arc System Works, I mean, like, what? I didn't know they had skills like that to sit there and to have things ready to go, and the game does play better. But now we fast forward to today, and this is what's wild. Okay, so it's really nuts. So let me read this. Okay, so Marvel's Tokon Fighting Souls is facing another problem on PC, and this one is pretty embarrassing for Sony. Players have been testing an unofficial cracked version of the game, and reports show that it can run much better than the official PC version. The main difference is that the cracked version removes the game's THEA DRM, along with some of the Sony and security software running with an official version. Some players are reporting smoother gameplay, fewer frame rate drops, and lower CPU usage. When I read that, and going back to what I was making a theory about last week, was that, hold up, is Sony out here trying to be messy and give a big middle finger to the PC community? Even though they want PC community money, but they want the best place to play the game. So like when the reviews come in, when the information from the gamers themselves come in, it's like, oh man, I'm not having a problem over here. Yo, I'm good over here on the PlayStation 5. And sure enough, we were seeing that. Like people were saying, like, listen, on the PlayStation 5, everything's cool. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna cut doing the crossplay and playing y'all's whack ass version on PC. That's what was going on. Plus, you got the reviews. On top of that, then you had the gaming media. They were all like, oh man, like, damn, Arc System Works. When Arc System Works. And that's why I was trying to say that, did Arc System Works know that this was going to happen? And so they already had a patch ready to try to nullify the pain? And like I said, this was just a theory. But from what this information that came out to be, this seems like this is exactly what happened. Because you already see, man, Tokon is for the PC streets now. It's a thought now. Like they got, man, poor Magic, poor Storm, poor Magic and Storm, and man, and whoever else female that they're gonna bring that's kind of, you know what I'm saying, that's more mature, you know what I'm saying, and kind of hottish. Man, it's for the streets, but they already got Magic. You know what I'm saying? They got her. They got Magic looking like a little cute black chick. They got Magic looking real busty. Yo, to the street. Now they're putting DBZ players on there. Like, yeah, Tokon on the PC side is for the streets. That's what's also embarrassing about that too. You did all of this security. Sony did all this security and all this DRM and everything to just get it cracked and have the modders get a hold of it and break the code in less than a week. It ain't even been a week yet. This game came out, Thursday. Tomorrow will be a full week. Are you kidding me? And then on top of that, from what I was saying for my theory, and I'm looking at this as like, yo, so Sony over here doing this, blocking 130 countries out because of the PSN situation, also alienating a group of people who don't want to sign into PSN. And then you get this game out here, you present it. The game is fire. Arc System Works did their job, but it was so badly broken for so many people that even Maximilian dude, a dude that is like one of the faces of the fighting community, had to uninstall the PC version and go straight to PlayStation 5. That is beyond embarrassing. And then it's already cracked. So yeah, I don't know, man. Like I hate that for the developers. I hate everybody involved because the game is damn good. It's a damn good game. It definitely has the potential to put Marvel versus Capcom in a position. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh. But see, this is the difference. Capcom is not going to make anything exclusive ever again with PlayStation after what happened with Street Fighter V. So when you best believe another Marvel vs. Capcom comes out and they're looking at seeing how well that Arc System Works did with Marvel's Tokon as like just gameplay, visuals, you know what I'm saying, just the everything else within the game other than just the performance. Oh man, you just wait. You just wait. Because this could have really put, because there was already people already putting out and saying, I mean, this is way better than damn near any Marvel vs. Capcom game ever made. Like, this is potent. And then like with the DLC and everything else that they're gonna be putting into the game, man, the characters they're talking about, like I guess it's leaked that Doctor Strange and a few other characters, but I know it's Doctor Strange for sure. That's supposed to be one of the characters that's going to be coming. Like, man, and then plus for what the extra characters that we already know that they're going to be having, like Phoenix Cyclops. Like, bro, yeah. But I mean, it is what it is, man. Like, it is what it is. So I hate that for them, but man, this is wild. And like I said, poor Magic, she's caught. They got her. They got her. They got her in Storm. They're gonna get. They're eventually gonna bring Rogue. Oh well, my God, what they gonna do to Rogue? Lord. So yeah, but it's really cool looking at how they change it. Put like Broly and they put in Trunks, and I seen one with like Spider-Man in just regular Venom suit, not as Venom. And then him fighting Goku, like, you know, that's nuts, man. It's nuts. But I don't know, man. That's a bad deal. That's a bad deal. So I hate that for them. I hate that for them, but it is a bad situation for sure. Real bad situation. All right, so here we go. More. Listen, I know this might sound like an obituary for Sony right now, but man, this is where the news is at right now. This is where the news is at, and at least I started off with Xbox from the beginning. All right, so anyway, so this is some more news. It's about PlayStation is rebooting the online game Horizon Hunters Gathering after negative playtest feedback. Ugh. All right, new plans is smaller scope, more traditional co-op multiplayer, no more live service, plus many devs moving to another project. That game is done. That game is done. That game is done. I mean, listen, I played Towerborn and I had a really good time playing Towerborn. I like Towerborn so much I bought it. I was like, oh, this game is fun. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad at like the design. I know a lot of people was hating on the design. But I do understand on the flip side, it's like, okay, you have presented one of the best looking games we've seen in Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West. Like Horizon Forbidden West is like God tier beautiful. Like it's insanely beautiful. game. And so like when you come and you bring Horizon Hunters, I understand is not, you don't want to put the same kind of budget graphically into that. But I mean, you didn't have to go as hard as you did with Horizon Forbidden West. But if you could just have it to be on Horizon Zero Dawn and maybe just, maybe downgrade it a little bit because it's going to be a live service, I don't think anybody would complain. Because the concept of the game seems pretty cool, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? That this is what's up. Like, I mean, to me, I was really excited about the MMO aspect of the rumors that was supposed to be coming out. I guess this was supposed to be that game of what they did. So, okay, they drop it down. But I think when you look at your titles like that, it goes with that one little 2D God of War game. That, for what the price they were asking for that game, and then you go and do that, present that game, and then graphically, like, huh? Like, didn't say that the game isn't good, and I know it didn't get the best rating and the best, like, people didn't really act like that they were fully into it like that. But, I mean, there are so many 2D side scrollers that look so much better. And you know what I'm saying? And that cost less. I mean, I don't know. And now you got this with the rebooting of Horizon Hunters and Gathering. I wish the game luck. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I try to keep a positive attitude with it. But, I mean, damn, the negative playtest feedback. Man. But the one positive thing is that more traditional co-op multiplayer. See, this is where this stuff is biting Sony in the ass. They have been so gung-ho about single-player experiences that they even had the media side with them about single-player experiences. So now when Sony knows that where the toast is buttered is really where the money is made is on multiplayer and live service, they just shot themselves in the foot because they don't even have the right teams to sit. I'm not saying that these people don't know what they're doing, because obviously they're skilled enough to make the game. They're much more skilled than me and you. But somebody who's bringing in the information to them about how this game should be designed, or like what the premise of the game should be, they keep missing on this. Like, Helldivers 2, that was already a established franchise. So they already knew how to make that work. I mean, you would think that what Bungie was doing, Marathon and man, Marathon. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't hate on them wanting to do something different. Going back to the original recipe and bringing in Marathon from when it was on the OG Xbox, totally understand it. But it just seems like it just didn't come together like it's supposed to. So, and so now this game is in peril. Now you're looking at Horizon Hunter Gathering, that's in peril. Then for like the hype behind Phantom Blade Zero, that's kind of diminished because it's a timed exclusive. So listen, there's so many games that's coming out right now, and me and Kano talked about this the other day when they showed the game. Like, I'm on that game. I'm like, oh, this is kind of like Black Myth Wukong meets Ninja Gaiden with a little bit of splash of Elden Ring without the soul stuff. It's just a dope ass hack and slash. I'm on it. Excuse me. So I'm on that. The problem is, it's where that game is placed. The 29th of October. You have two games that's in the span that is going to gobble up everything. The hype for Call of Duty, Warfare, Modern Warfare 4, and Grand Theft Auto 6. And I don't care how the gaming media tries to keep trying to make Grand Theft Auto 6 a PlayStation game. Like, it's a multi-plat on the console. On two of the consoles. It's on Xbox day one, just like it's day one on PlayStation. So it's so weird listening to the media sitting there. Well, they got Grand Theft Auto, like nobody else got Grand Theft Auto. Now, Nintendo and PC gamers don't, but Xbox is good, right? So to me, it's just and listen, I know it's a different type of game from Call of Duty and from Grand Theft Auto, because Grand Theft Auto will be coming out like 2 weeks. And then see also that what I brought up was that, like, okay, so October is crazy too. Not as crazy as September. September is like one of the wildest months I've ever seen. Jay Slayer, that's a day one buy for you, no doubt. I'm getting it. I'm gonna probably have to double dip on it. Like I'm gonna probably have to double dip, because I'm definitely going. What I'm hoping is this, because I'm getting it for the PC, and so what I'm hoping is that as I call the definitive edition, what I'm hoping is that will come when it comes to Xbox. It will be a play anywhere title. I will be getting it next year too. So that I will have no. I want the. Yeah. I will double dip that. I will double dip that. So I feel you on that. But anyway, where it's placed though, that's what I'm saying. So like September is just a juggernaut. So for like nobody can buy. Well, I can't say nobody. Most people are not going to buy all those games in September, right? So some of those games are going to be picked up on Black Friday. Some of those games might get picked up in October. October is not as stacked as September, but you still got heat. You got Ace Combat, you got Gears of War E-Day, you got Call of Duty, you have Final Fantasy Renaissance. There's a lot of games coming out. A lot of games, right? And so you got the Pod Racer, you got the Star Wars Pod Racer game. So like, so it's going to be spread out. And so in November, let me tell you how crazy and how dominant Grand Theft Auto 6 is. I was reading off a list of games that was coming in November. The only one that felt like it even had a chance was Godzilla Melee Remake. That's it. Everything else was stuff that I may have heard on from like an indie show or something, or something I've never seen before. There's a lot of PC only games that's going to be dropping in November. It's a ghost town in November. So, and that's another thing too that I was over here bringing up was like, all right, so this game, Phantom Blade Zero is going to be dropping on the 29th. Before that, like a week before that, I believe that's going to be Call of Duty. That's gonna hit. Like I was listening to some guy that was talking about, well, Call of Duty failed. Call of Duty didn't meet its sales. It still was the number 2 game. It was still in the top 3 sales of the year. Yeah, it's the measuring stick of what it did before. No, Call of Duty is going to be fine. I've already sit there and said that a long time ago, thinking that Call of Duty's demise was going to eventually happen. It is not. It will. They always find a way. They always pull at the heartstrings, and they always bring in the heat. They'll be fine. But anyway, you're going to have that. Then you're going to have the games in before that. You're going to have the people that's going to want Final Fantasy Renaissance, the people that's going to want Dragon's Dogma that's going to be on the Switch, Dragon Dogma 2. Like there's just going to be games in between. Like, and then so when you jump into Phantom Zero, yeah, that's going to be people that's going to get that game, that's going to go ahead and do it, but they're going to be picking up something in before that. So then you also got to think about the games from September and August that they didn't pick up. And so at that point, here comes Black Friday and GTA. Well, GTA and then Black Friday, somewhere around there. So they're like, and then people are going to be looking at other games that they've been looking at. Like people might go ahead and pick up a discounted Madden, a discounted NBA 2K 27. They'll be picking up some of the other games that they was looking at that they've been wanting to play. Like, okay, so Mafia added the DLC, and they had the DLC, and so people haven't picked up Mafia. I haven't picked up Mafia yet. Old Country. That's where I plan on picking it up. Is on Black Friday. So again, Phantom Zero is going to be $70. Now, unless it drops, and listen, this is it'll definitely drop on PC, but will Sony drop the price? It'll be, you know what I'm saying? It'll already be dropped in price by the time that it'll hit PC or whatever. So if I wanted to wait, I could wait, but I'd still plan on getting that day one. So I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I wish the best for the game. I'm definitely going to be playing the hell out of it, but I am just a little bit concerned about that placement. And it almost seems like, and it is smart. Like, you don't want to put anything in November. That everything is all about Grand Theft Auto 6. So, but yeah, I don't know. But it looks really, really dope. I just don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know how that's going to turn out. That's going to be pretty nasty. That's going to be pretty nasty. So we'll see. I'm over here looking and going, seeing, man, people are still cooking Wolverine, and I've never seen nothing like this, guys. I've never seen this. I've never seen this before. I've never seen it before. How PlayStation is just getting dog walked right now. It is so bizarre. It is so bizarre to me. Anyway, a couple of more things before we get out of here. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay. The heading changed because the what's calling went out. So yeah, that's I knew something was different. That's all right. We'll fix that by the time that we'll come and when I'm done with the stream. So anyway, sorry about that. I was just looking at some other stuff around here, but yeah, I don't know. I do not know. I want to go back and talk about the Xbox game. Oh no. That's what I was over here trying to think about the stuff that I had on my list. Halo situation. Now, you might disagree with me on this one, and you know what? The rumor is, if people haven't heard, is that, and I heard this last year. I've heard this for the last year and a half about because of all the turmoil and the issues that's happening at 343 to now Halo Studios, that they want Activision to be to take over and be, the management group pretty much at Activision take over Halo. Listen, I mean, you had all these people that was jumping on Pierre, and I made my point about that, talking about, listen, if you're holding people accountable, if they're not doing what they're doing, because there was some situations that I'm reading, and like this journalist was trying to make this flex, like, this is why he needs to go, Pierre needs to go. And I'm sitting here looking like, okay, if somebody's caring more about their vacation time than they are about their job of what they're doing, yeah, they could be excited about their vacation, but they got a job to do. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I get it. Like, video games is not life or death, but I mean, that's just like for any type of job, though. Like, if it's, got stuff to do, you getting paid for this, so you got to take care of your business and then worry about your vacation. Like, I mean, if you over here at the last hour of your job or something like that, or like, 30 minutes before your break, for your lunchtime or something like that, and you over here looking, engaging at some ideas for a vacation or something like that, I mean, yeah, cool. But like, caring more about what your plans for your vacation instead of doing the job of the game, like, that affects everybody. If whoever's that's and I don't think it was a developer per se who that person was. If I remember, it was somebody that was in finance or something like that. Like, I mean, and so that person might have to be paying attention to budgets and stuff like that, like whatever the case may be, but it's still an important job. Of course he should get in your ass. And of course people are saying like he's pretty, just he's mean in the sense of like, what I'm saying? Like, we got to get this damn job done. And it was just like going back to talking about in the beginning about Insomniac developers, from the reports there saying that they feel You know, they're upset. They you know what I'm saying, they feel distressed. They, you know what I'm saying, they feel you know, and their feelings about people criticizing the game. Listen, hold up, man. I'm all for people being more polite and decent and having serious civil conversations. But then there's sometimes that people just somebody's got to just get in somebody's ass. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's got to dig in that ass, pause. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you just need to just be direct. Now, I know that there's like a generational type of thing going on here. I'm more of a hard ass. I've always been. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with, you know, we talking about silent generation and the boomers. There was no peace until they went to sleep while I'm outside playing. That's why ain't no way in hell I could sit in a house all day playing video games with my mom or like and my aunties or cousins or my grandparents around. I ain't no way. No way. I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm getting moving, Jack. I'm going out here playing some dodgeball, wall ball, you know what I'm saying, baseball, basketball, playing something. Hell, I go out there and just go jump and play with the girls playing double dutch. Whatever. I'm getting the hell out the house. I can't take that. And besides that, they tell you get the hell out of the house anyway. It's grown folks' time. So none of that sitting there being sensitive and talking about, you know, let me play video games all day. Let me take the TV, because I didn't have no TV in my room. I didn't have no hell when I was younger. It was me and my mom shared the room. When I was a little kid. So like, and I mean, I've been playing video games since I was 3 years old. You know what I'm saying? So like, well, I just go back and say arcades. But then like when I got an Atari, I mean, the Atari was in the front room. There was a TV in my mom's room, but the TV was occupied for her. And then like when I got old enough, like I got about, I don't know, what, 5, 6, then I had my own little space. But nah, absolutely not. You know, that's when I stayed with my grandma. Then when my mom got home place, then, you know, I had my own room and stuff like that. Like when I was like 5, 6, 7, something like that. But man, come on. Ain't no way I'm staying. And even when I got older and stuff like that, like, no. No. And even when like, and this is what's crazy too. Even when before my mom passed and I was watching over and stuff, like I brought the Xbox over. Yeah, it was no problem. But I didn't play the game until she went to sleep. She would ask, she's like, why don't you play your game? I'm like, I'm not playing my game. What for? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? You know what I'm saying? I think one time I sit there and she wanted me to play NBA 2K because she said, that looks real, you know? And so anyway, that was it. Even then, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, 50-year-old dude. Well, I was like, what, 40, 48, 49. So yeah, 49. Yeah, no, still. So like it just groomed different. So anyway, that's just a whole different situation. So you know what I'm saying? And I mean, I was the same way with my son and my daughter. Like, y'all get y'all's ass out there and play. Go do something. Go find a hobby. Ain't sitting here in the house all day. You know, now I was a lot more lenient with my kids, especially my son, because I knew he was a hardcore gamer. So you know what I'm saying, I let him have the weekends to sit there and to do what he had to do, but you know what I'm saying, let him game and stuff like that. But then he got the custom, like, I got to get out of here. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I just sit there and just taking me back to just thinking about like how these developers and stuff are talking about, like, they don't like criticism. They don't like people to kind of tell them how they should do their job and stuff like that. And listen, I know that there's a lot of shade tree developers out there. There's no question about that. Don't get me wrong. Oh, Future Generation said I had a ColecoVision with Zexon. Good God. Damn. Yeah. I did not have a ColecoVision. I had a Asian friend that had a ColecoVision down the street, and I played on it a few times. My grandfather did get one. Like, it was crazy what my grandfather would pick up. Like, people would just throw away shit. I remember that's how I got my Atari. Like, I was you know what I'm saying, when I was trash man, Like in those nice neighborhoods and stuff like that, there would be people that throw all types of dope shit. Like it was a Atari system with like 20 games. Just threw it away. Just left it out on the curb for big trash day. And I said, ain't no way this is working. Man, I loaded that up in the truck, put that, sit there and kept that in there, kept it in the back, and then sit there and took it and plugged it up. And we sit there and we're seeing that thing work. I was showing the dudes at work. They were like, yo, this thing worked. I was like, man. And then like dudes like, let me buy it off of you. I said, nope, it's mine. Now, I mean, this is many moons ago, so therefore nobody can come after me. But then they threw it away, so I'm like, I'm taking it. Shit, I'm saying, like, it's crazy what people throw away. But anyway, yeah, no. But my grandfather, he was in sanitation too, and so like he came up on a ColecoVision, and I would. It was just so weird to mess with the dial. I was cool with the buttons though, like because there was games you had to type in and stuff like that, and yeah, it was so crazy. But anyway, I'm going left. I just think that like just getting back to the point of just talking about like the Halo situation. Sorry about that. I just think that like listen, and if Pierre is like overly nasty to people, then he needs to get checked about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he'll calm down a little bit, but I don't have a problem with somebody being direct and wanting people to do their job and do it properly, especially how many games we come out and we see that comes out broken, how many games we come out and we see that just they delay it multiple times. Like if he wants to be direct to have it, there shouldn't be no problem with that whatsoever. So anyway, with that being said, with him going in and him hopefully still being in that position, Activision taking over or acquiring, or I wouldn't say like acquiring, but like, blending with Activision, I think that's a good thing. Now, the sad part about it is that I don't know if you know how business work and people get let go, and I don't want no more people to get let go. You know what I mean? So like, that's what I'm saying when I bring it up about Pierre, because I'm wondering if like, okay, so you don't want to hear all those nightmares of what we heard with Xbox having 14 different mid managers before it came to a conclusion about what they were going to do. That is ridiculous. But if there's somebody that's in management that wants to come in and do something, and Pierre's there, but he still has still full say so of everything, but then has like him a boss or whatever from management, or if it's just for purposes of promotion and things like that from Activision, do it. Make it happen. Like I said, I just don't want to see nobody let go or fired or anything like that. I would think it would be the most epic thing for Halo. It's what Halo needs. It's what that franchise needs more than anything. It needs that proper direction. And who's better to do it? Who's one of the best to do it when it comes to hype, is to promotion than Activision with Call of Duty. That's what Halo needs. And if there's somebody that's like, if that's going to be maybe like, okay, let's say that Pierre is over Halo Studios, but there's somebody that's there that's like, he has to show this too, and then that dude is like, because since they know multiplayer, they know this and that, like they don't they don't know about like the ins and outs of maybe of Halo, of how it needs to play and stuff like that. That's why you need Pierre and that team there. But what I'm saying in a sense of on promotion, or what gets the younger audience and people to get excited and hyped about it, to help out with that, I think it would be perfect. I think it would be perfect. Man, I can't wait. Man, I wasn't even having Call of Duty on my radar like that with this, because I was just like, yeah, I'm always going to buy Call of Duty because I just like Battlefield, just the things that I do, right? Those are games that's always going to be in my wheelhouse. But man, the way that they came with the funk with this Call of Duty, with this new Call of Duty. They just brought it. They brought it. And so I'm like, okay. So just think about that type of marketing team working on Halo. Can you imagine? Like, bro, I want it to happen. I want it to happen without nobody getting let go or fired or anything like that. But I want it to happen. Oh, the Future General says I also had an Atari adapter that hooked into the Coleco to play Atari games. Good night. I didn't never know that. I didn't even know you could do that. Man, I'm gonna have to find me old Coleco. Old Coleco. I need to find me old Coleco. That's the thing I want to try to start doing is going back and getting old classics. The one thing I want to get a Saturn. I because I chose a PlayStation over the Saturn, so I really didn't get to play on a Saturn, but only very few times because nobody around me had one. The person that my Korean buddy Sasha, like the one I was playing Tekken with, like crazy. He had a Saturn, so like but Tekken wasn't on Saturn then. So anyway, but yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I did not know that. I did not know that. So regardless, I don't know. And if anybody wants to know about, because I know that when I did a clip and somebody was wondering what the last game I was playing, which was Avowed on the last game. If anybody don't know what this is Baldur's Gate 3. I'm trying to get through it, man. No, this game is crazy. I mean that I just know this game is a monster. Like it's huge. I'm like 80 hours in and I feel like, and I'm still in Act 1. So I want to try to beat it before the onslaught of games come out next month because I'm going, man, Dawn of the whatever Walker, and Onimishu, Renaissance. I know Renaissance come out at the end of the month, but still. Anyway, the Star Wars game that's coming out here in a couple of weeks. Here I might come out next week. I don't know. Anyway, the Star Wars game that's coming out, I want to play that. So like, I'm going to try to beat this and get through this, and then I'm going to be on those games. So, but anybody wants to know is Baldur's Gate 3. So yeah. And I mean, this is like, and I was a little tired. It was like 2:30 in the morning gameplay, so I was a little sluggish on my decision making. Made a few mistakes here and there, but anyway, I'll show some gameplay of me really cooking and spinning and making it work. But anyway, yeah, but I want that to happen. I think that if Halo and Halo Studios go in there and merge with Activision, even if it's just for the marketing side of things, that'd be great. But also, you guaranteed if it's integrated with Activision, you guaranteed what games are going to come out, and that could be enough willing and dealing and having enough developers to work on other Halo projects, something that needs to be done with that franchise. Enough is enough with the same shit. It's no different than, as much as I've said this, and I'm not going to go too deep on the spill, but you guys know how I feel about this. The Halo universe is so vast and has so many great stories that can be told and given. And you could do it from different genres. Like the best way that I see it, to where Halo could go, is what you see with the Warhammer franchise. Now, I ain't saying that you need to make a vehicle like Twisted Metal-esque kind of like Halo game, but you can make a Halo game like Warhammer. What is it, 40,000? You know what I'm saying? Like like a hack and slash. You can definitely make a, like when it was talking about the MMO, like you can do a co-op action game. You can do so much on top of what you have with Halo Wars. I don't understand this. Like it just gets into the point of where Chief. I get it. You love Chief. I love Chief. I want more. Give me Team Shadow. Give me Team Osiris. Give me Red Team. Give me Blue Team. How can we sit there like the team that helped make you know what I'm saying, John, who he is, sit there and had his back, they don't get nowhere near the same type of love. Like, are you kidding me? Like, can we get a blue team at least? You know what I'm saying? Halo, there's so many Team Taurus. Oh my God, there's so many different directions that they can go with Halo. And even you can go and do some stuff with the Arbiter and going in there and then like maybe some young Atriox, how he came up through, like how Estrium sit there and I think that's how you say his name, Astrium, whatever his name is. Just big ass gorilla monkey looking thing. You know what I'm saying? That the intellect that made the killer beast Atriox, bro. Like we can, there's so many places we can go. The Forerunners, the Didact, like there's so many ways. And again, I'll make my last point on this on the Halo thing front is that you can always make that Halo that's like a Mass Effect in a sense of you can create your own character. That's kind of like in a sense of like, ODST, that if there was the coolest thing about ODST to me is that you didn't really you felt like you was that cadet. You know what I mean? So like make a Halo to where you make your own character. And I guarantee you that will chill out a lot of the fan base about we just need to have Master Chief in every game. Because if you get a person that is dedicated to make a likeness of a Spartan, that person is going to be invested. You make a game to where you are starting off in the ranks and you can have all these different Halo entities be a part of your journey to where you can be not as great as Master Chief, but you can sit there and start your own. So I guarantee you that people eat that shit up. Now, what kind of genre you would make that Halo game? I don't know. You can just make it regular Halo play style, but it's your own character that you've created, and then you go into the universe, and then you get to coincide and meet all different types of people. It's kind of like in the sense of like what I think a MMO is like, but I mean it wouldn't be an MMO. It would be just like a different storied version of the Halo universe. So anyway, there's so many different angles that people can do and go through. I've said it, I've talked about it a million times, but there you have it on that. Let me see. Anything else? Yeah, there's people that's sitting there saying, so yeah, I got my Oklahoman PlayStation resident, Mike, Mike, just a gamer. He's always defending his PlayStation, man. There ain't nothing wrong with that because I was already talking about that what Xbox is starting with the immersive background mode. He was like, you can already do that on PlayStation. I know that, but again, he's not listening to me. I'm not live on Twitter, so but that is true. You can do that on PlayStation. That's why I always said PlayStation had a better UI. And I'm also seeing people that's talking about Killer Instinct, and they you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they have to, bro. They have to. It would be an absolute tragedy. So anyway, from the beginning, if anybody missed out for what I was talking about in the beginning, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, but because this was going to be the last thing because it was going to be in a more positive situation. So I can link up both things, but I'll talk about the negative side of it, of a rumor, and then we'll talk about what game could possibly be the sequel Shadow Drop game that they're talking about for Gamescom. So anyway, with Killer Instinct, there's been the rumors that Killer Instinct could be that game that's going to be shadow dropped. I think Killer Instinct is too big of a game to be shadow dropped, unless, like I said earlier, was that if the game was going to be the 2013 version, but like they made it into like made it with Unreal Engine 5, like they just kind of upgraded it like that to kind of just, say, hey, Killer Instinct is not dead. We're still working on it. Here you go. I can see a shadow drop of that. It's kind of like they did with the upgrade version of Killer Instinct like 2 years ago. But this rumor about like that they canceled it, like it was supposed to be worked on from a Japanese developer and stuff like that. Anything like like I said, I explained it to where I'm like, okay, I could see them canceling it because Iron Galaxy said at Evo that they were working back on the game. So I think it was Iron Galaxy. Well, I think it was Iron Galaxy. It wasn't Iron Galaxy, it was the other team that worked on it. But I think it was Iron Galaxy that said that they were going to start working on Killer Instinct 2. Anyway, so but they had to work on another game for Amazon. Regardless of that, though, the cancellation of the Japanese studio that was supposed to be working on that, okay, I could see that being canceled. Not the Iron Galaxy version. Like I said, if that ever comes out to be the truth that Killer Instinct was in the works, 2 was in the works, and somebody in management said to wrap that shit up and get it out of here, I'm going to crash the fuck out. I'm going to crash out. You rarely hear me, you know what I'm saying? I'll jump on the Xbox ass if they do some bad shit, but I'm going to crash out. I really am. Because then, so like I said, we don't know yet, but let's hope that that's a rumor. That's not a crazy situation. Oh, anyway, no, I got one more topic before I get out of here. But anyway, but I'll be quick with this one. The game that's going to be coming out here, I don't know. I mean, a game to me that would make sense would be a High Five Rush 2. Because they shadow dropped that, and that game was fantastic. And I would love to see that game make a return. Yeah, that would be so dope. I would love it. It could be, I don't know. I have no idea what it could be. But but from people thinking about Quantum Break 2 or Rise, Son of Rome 2, something like that. No, those are something, those for E3 or the Xbox showcase or the VGAs, in my opinion, because those games are, even though that those games weren't like megaton sellers, and that's the same that I put at a Killer Instinct 2, because Killer Instinct 2 outsold both of those games. So, had much more success. So therefore, I'm looking at this as like something smaller. It could be anything. I don't know, but you got to let me know in your thoughts. Give me your thoughts on what game you think it could be and what game you want it to be. Like I would love a Recore too. I would think Recore, that game would be great for a drop. Now, you know what I'm saying? Do I see that happening? No, but I would love that. I also heard like some rumors that they're going to do a enhanced like part 2 version of Sea of Thieves. That would be dope. I would definitely jump back on it. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I mean, but I think it's going to be something like that. A High Five Rush 2 would be insane. High Five Rush would be great. But we will see about that. Okay, so now here's the actual last topic, and then we're going to get out of here. So I was listening to something. I was listening to a game journalist earlier today, and he was bringing up about, again, a discourse about what was going on with PlayStation and stuff like that. And he just couldn't understand about like the hate that people are bringing in, or the big backlash about they're doing with Wolverine and that stuff, right? But he brought up something that was pretty interesting, that was about this discourse in revolving, that what kind of started all this was about the PlayStation taking away physical media, or taking away physical copies of games in 2028. And then he came and started bringing up about what PlayStation's idea should be, which I wasn't mad at it, but I brought this up a couple of years ago. And as a matter of fact, I brought this up this year. I brought it up a couple of years ago, but I brought it up again this year. Because what he said was that what Sony could do is make a cheaper console that is all cloud-based. And I said, oh. And then he said this, that really said, oh, no. I said, I got to talk about this tonight. I got to talk about this, was how he think that would be a good idea because of the high prices, because the gaming media now is starting to come clean about the fact that these new consoles are going to be probably $1,000, anywhere from at the least 800 up. So thousand, I'm saying $1,000, but I'm saying $900,000, easy. But what he was saying that blew my mind was that, oh, that would be a great idea. That's a good situation that could entice gamers who don't want to pay those extreme prices to bring them in. And then brought up the fact about, like, you know how PlayStation brought in the second version of the discless PlayStation 5, and how that kind of threw everybody off in the industry because they weren't seeing that coming. But it was a smart move because it was $400, which was very affordable compared to its counterpart, which was $500. So I'm sitting here, like I said, I'm just saying, huh. And mind you, it just, you know what I'm saying, it was the headline that I seen that just made me listen to it, because I normally, like I said, I don't listen to just people like that anymore. I just kind of, if I catch a headline or something, I'll listen or whatever. But what threw me off was his acceptance of it. When him and the people I've seen before, not only writing these things, I don't know if he's still with GameSpot or whatever. He might not be. He could be independent now. I have no idea. But they had a problem with the Series S. And I'm sitting here like, yo, I know better. And I mentioned this about 2 years ago. I remember it. And it was on GRG. And I was saying, you know what? I would not be surprised if PlayStation would sit there and bring a cheaper version, kind of like the S, because of you know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, listen, the consoles themselves, we already hearing about the prices are already finna go up. These prices have not gone down. And so only thing is going to go up. So the best solution is to do what Xbox has done. You know what I mean? And so, there was a debate about that, and there was people in the chat that some agreed, some disagreed. But this is my thing here. That's what makes me like, damn, it's cold-blooded. The way that they ripped the Series S, and the Series S was the most affordable console out there for $300. But it got shitted on because of what? But if Sony does this, now listen, I understand that, and see, it's not even as bad as some people try to make it out to be about the Series S, or as Canadian would call it, little man. Would sit there and it would be like there would be a few games. Like, okay, Baldur's Gate 3 was a game that came a little bit later. I sit there and made a point, and I had people that I was definitely on TikTok. They did not like, there were some people that did not like them even saying that it wasn't Sony, it was Baldur, and it could have been. But remember, that game if you remember, Xbox had a big game coming out, and PlayStation didn't. All of a sudden, Baldur's Gate, because we was in here like, oh man, we're eating. This is where the Xbox was, I think the year before was doing pretty good, but Xbox was rolling that year. And I cannot remember what that big game was that was coming out around that same time that, what was coming out? People in the chat, you can let me know what that is. But out of the blue, Baldur's Gate had to sit there and say, we can't put it on the Series X, we can't put it on the Series S. There's some issues here. It's just going to be delayed. Because remember, it was so crazy. It was so dry for Sony that there were people that were over here using Baldur's Gate 3, because Baldur's Gate 3, won Game of the Year, had all the accolades and all this, that even PlayStation stands were out here saying, we got the exclusive, we got the Game of the Year exclusive. Anyway, and so the situation with Black Myth Wukong, that game had to get delayed. And I'm over here saying to myself, hold up. I understand that the Series S has that RAM problem, right? I get it. You know what I mean? They should have nullified, but that's also maybe why the reason why the price was affordable as it was, because they had to cut corners. Now, maybe there could have been some other ways that they could have cut corners. I don't know. But regardless, same thing happened with Black Myth Wukong. If you remember, same thing. It had to be delayed. Couldn't come on, and the problem was the Series S. What's crazy is that there's people's PC there's some people's PC that wasn't on the level of the Series S and still was playable on their PCs. Now, it might not have been the most pleasant experiences, but mind you, it could still play. So anyway, we just get to this point to where it's only been a handful of games that has not been able, that got delayed. So every other game had no problem jumping on there. And if there was, like I said, there's only been a handful that couldn't come on the S. What you're trying to tell, so what this person was trying to tell me, try to tell us, because I mean, you know, I don't know if some of you people seen this video or not or whatever. And I probably need to go back to my other format to where I can play the video. I could do that now, but I'm not. But I'll, you know, because it's much more easy on the other format that I use, to where I could just kind of flip it on there instead of me going in here and switching and doing all that. But the thing that really trips me out is that you're going to big up a cloud-based system. Really? Now, I'm all for affordability. You know what I'm saying? That's the big word for these last few years. I'm all for people getting something on budget. I'm always been on that kick. But man, you really gonna flex and talk about if PlayStation decides to make a cloud-based system, which would make perfect sense of why they're sitting there cutting off the hard drive aspect of it. Not saying like the PlayStation 6 is, I mean, I get the PlayStation 6 and not gonna have a disk drive or whatever. And so, but anyway, the cheaper version of the PlayStation 5, the PlayStation 6 version would be a cloud-based system. And you're gonna flex and say that's cool. I mean, I know this is gonna be more powerful than the Switch too. Much more powerful. But we're talking about people's internets here. There's some people that's still working on 56K, Jack. Really? There's people over here sitting there be trying to run their games off of cell phones. What are you off of hotspots? Really? Really? And you know Sony ain't gonna sit there and try to take no loss on it. So it's not like it's gonna be cheap like $300 like the S was. Hell, there was one time before all this craziness started happening with the chip shortage and now the RAM shortage and all this other stuff, to where the Xbox Series S was $100 in some places, $99.99. So this thing is going to probably be what, $400 or $500 as cloud-based console, most likely $500. And you're going to boast on that and saying that's cool when it's just nothing but a cloud device. But y'all shitted on the S. That was a device that could play any and every game. It may had to be worked around for a handful of games. But for the most part, the Series S should get hellified love for what it can do. Now, the price of the Series S now, of course not. But man, come on, what are we talking about? Like, it blew my mind that he was bigging this up. And I said, if this is true, oh man, the roast will be insane. I will be at my utmost diabolical to listen to this, because you know the stands is gonna go crazy. They'll glaze over it. They'll say, "Oh yeah, this is great. Look at what Sony's doing for us." Oh, barbecue. We having a queue, bro. Like I will be Archdemon Mega that day. Let that announcement come out. Now, we're talking about like maybe 2028. They're saying that they might delay it or whatever. And this, you know what I'm saying? And this they might not even make anything cheaper, right? But the way that he said that, it seemed to him that that might be the direction that they go, which makes perfect sense of why they would want to get rid of the whole the physical copy thing anyway, because they will have full control of their library. They don't have games no longer on Xbox. They already knew that they were afraid of what Xbox Helix would do, where people could still play PlayStation games off of their Xbox through Steam, through Epic Store, through GOG, whatever, right? So they were like, no, we taking full control of that. You're not going to get any more PlayStation games through other channels like you could with the games that was on the PC that you could get for the cheap. Like, I just seen a sale for what game was that? Anyway, it was a PlayStation game that was the hard copy of that game was $15. $15. That game was still $70 through the PlayStation Store. Now, again, granted, the game didn't have a digital sale, but it did have a sale. And Sony wants to kill all that. Like, why do I have to pay money to these retailers for their hard copies? And the retailer's like, man, I got to make some kind of money off of this. So, man, let's just go ahead and drop this price on it. Somebody will pick it up. Man. Anyway, so like you said, they had more RAM. They had more RAM total. 12 gigabytes of RAM would have been perfect. Remember, Xbox One was 40% weaker than the PlayStation 4 because they saved maybe $30 to $40 of DDR5. They didn't have DDR5 in the PlayStation 4. What are you talking about? Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Well, you talk about DDR3 instead, yeah. But the PlayStation 4 did not have DDR5. It was higher RAM, and that's why. But see, when you sit there and say it was 45% weaker, but still there was games that sit there and that didn't even look better. You know what I'm saying? There was games that looked really good, and there was games that even performed better on the Xbox One. So there was a different kind of format of it. And I understand the whole thing, like Xbox shot themselves in the foot. I've sit there and talked about that a million times about the Xbox One generation. They sit there and they got too cocky, and then they had to take the L. So on a lot of bad decisions. And also the worst decision was to take away the greatest features that the Xbox One had, because they were listening to yahoos over here talking about, I want my console to be a console. But sit there and watch Netflix and YouTube on their console. Stop that. Anyway, so you sure it had DDR5? Because because I'm gonna tell you this, Raichi. I'm sitting here I was over here trying to sit there, and I didn't get the opportunity to get DDR5 until about 4 years ago. So you mean to tell me that they put DDR5 into the PlayStation 4 when DDR5 wasn't even out on PCs, for high-end PCs? Stop that. Anyway, so I know that much. Now, you know what I'm saying? Now, if they did. Now, if you're saying if they put it on the PlayStation 5, oh, okay, cool, whatever. You saying they removed those features because they had to get back to Mike says. Oh, you saying GDDR5. Okay. I was just like, because I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? You can be disappointed in me all you want to. I don't know what the hell. I don't keep up with that shit like that. I know what DDR5 is. I don't know what GDR5 is. Disappoint yourself, sucker. Shit. I don't care about all that. I just, you know what I'm saying? It didn't really, at the end of the day, the reality of it is that, like, when you had games, that it was all about what the developers could do with that work, because really a lot of stuff got suppressed from third party anyway, because they didn't want to do those enhancements. Case in point, the Xbox One X. The Xbox One X, and see that's the one reason why I think that they did that parity thing with the with the Series S and the X, which I think harmed which harmed and had those few games to be being set back to be to be delayed, instead of just letting the developers work on the S the best way that they capacity for what they've done, instead of that, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully if they do a but see, I think how Xbox is going to do this is they're going to have a lot of third party people work on maybe alternative versions of the Helix. So, you know what I'm saying? Since this thing is supposed to be like a PC hybrid. So, you know what I'm saying? More so like a PC than anything. So anyway, we'll see about that. But I'm talking about I'm disappointed in you. I'm reading DDR5 and you talking about GDR5. I don't give that shit look too much like DDR5. I'm like DDR5 and I'm like, yo, hold on, wait a minute. I know DDR5 was not in no PlayStation 4, but you saying GDDR5. Listen, I ain't never come out and tell you that I'm a tech guy like that. That's for other people out there. I just know what I know. And so when you sit there and say that, it is what it is, sucker. Don't do that. He said the Xbox One X came with a 12 gigabyte of GDDR5. The machine is still a monster. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But again, we didn't know. We never got that opportunity to see it, but only one time, and that's when they first presented the Assassin's Creed, because it blew my mind. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And when playing I played Red Dead Redemption 2 on that thing, boy, I'm like, yo. Now what? I gotta get my Xbox One X fit, because I do want to see what Cyberpunk does on that. Because I had a Series S by the time Cyberpunk came out. So 2077 came out. So I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? I wonder if the Xbox One X could hold that game down. Like that would be fascinating to me. But it is a monster. It is a monster. Like Phil said, it's a monster. So yeah. But yeah. Right, he said, I'm disappointed in you, Megan. Be disappointed, sucker. Because I don't ever come up here acting like I'm like tech savvy. I'm tech savvy enough to get shit done. I'm not gonna sit there and be breaking down and tell you about terrible that if you hear me talk about it, it's something that I'm reading, and it's not, but it ain't nothing that I care about that much. I just want to know what it can do for my rig, what it could do for my console, and we keep it pushing. But anyway, I'm over here been going too long on this, so I'm going to sit there and finish this off with this. But I'm just saying, you said the Xbox, the One X still crush COD Black. Really? Ooh, Black Ops 7? Word? Really? See, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that bad boy fixed, because man, I love that console. I thought it was. I was like, man. So it was feel. That's when everything was going in the right direction, man. Everything was going, and everything really, in the sense of the games aspect, the software, has been in the right direction. There's still been some. It's been the management, and it's been a couple of games that's caused some problems, but. Yeah, but that will be crazy to me if PlayStation does go that route, making a cloud-based console. I mean, I just want the gaming media and the stands to keep that same energy like they did the S, because a cloud-based system is like, yo, I mean. Because just look at what goes on. And I know that the Switch 2 is not going to be nowhere near as powerful as the PlayStation 6, but look at how those games play on the look at how they're third party. That's how usually their third party games are played. And look at what happened to Alien what is it? Elite Company or Alien Elite Team? They just took it away. They just took it away from the Switch 2. They just said, no. Not enough people playing it. Bye. That's it. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Tough. Oh damn, I said that was my last topic, but I do got one more. Um, my bad, guys. But here we go. This right here. I did say I told you guys I had a lot to talk about today, but this is the last one for sure. But this was very, very, very interesting. Okay, so Harvey Smith. Harvey Smith, he was a former employee. You'll hear this. Okay, so Harvey Smith, he said we got fired, then walked back into Microsoft to ship Redfall 1.4 that fixed thousands of bugs. We finished the game and it was very poorly received. We then worked on it for a year. We patched thousands of bugs. We then got laid off. But we had in the pipe we had in the pipe version 1.4. It was one of the fixes. It was one that had all the fixes. Hold on. It was the one that fixed tons of stuff. So we went to Microsoft and said, I know we don't work here anymore, but can we please release this? And to their credit, they did not say no. They let us, 6 or 7 of us, sign forms that we could come back into the building. After being fired, we released 1.4, which I think if we had that on day one, it wouldn't have set the world on fire. But it was much, much better game. Fam, Mr. Smith. Now, I know that you show love for the game. And listen, for anybody sit there and start saying anything, I got this. I got this. You know what I'm saying? I bought this. Hard copy. Bought it. And yes, the last patch, there was the patch before I seen much great improvement. But Mr. Smith, I have to sit there and say to you, was you and the 6 or 7 people that was playing this game, knowing that it was getting ready to launch, did y'all talk to Pete Hines and sit there and let him know, yo, this shit is buns. It's buns. We have to fix this before we release this. Now, if you did, Mr. Smith, then kudos to you. I'm not mad at you because you did fix and patch a game that was what I thought had so much potential. Once it started, because I played it on the Xbox and it was okay, showed some gameplay, and I played it on the PC. It played much better, but still, there was moments where it was like, oh, man, why? It's got so much potential. Why did they not get this fixed? So anyway, it's too late. I'm glad that he sit there and he made it because he gave love to Microsoft for sitting there saying, listen, man, you got to be, but the game was already released. The game was already cooked. It was the worst. It was one of the worst ranked games, rated games of that year. It had the potential to be a decent franchise, not something that could just blow up. It might have could, but I can't. He said, Redfall releasing on spring still blows my mind. Vampire in spring. Bro, to delay that game, can you imagine how bad that game was during the summer that it was supposed to release? I remember Xbox448, shout out to him. He was so hype on this game. And I was like, and I wasn't like that. I was like, oh yeah, I'll play it. You know what I'm saying? Co-op. I'm about co-op. But come on, man. And for this game to sit there to come out and to be that it is, and like you said, what she said, right, she is like, hey, Vampire in spring, and then this game came out like it did. Oh. But we do appreciate for the 1.4 patch, because the game plays well, plays a lot better. I need to just go back and stream it again. Because why not? Is anybody playing it? I don't know. But still, I man, Pete Hines did Phil dirty. He Pete Hines did Phil dirty. He did him dirty, bro. Like that was I ain't never seen Phil Spencer that pissed off ever. Ever. That interview at what was it, Game Daily? Oof. Anyway, man. So shout out to Harvey Smith and the 6-7 people that worked on that game for the patch. It does show the love, and it does also show that Phil and them was like, man, listen, man, we got to make this right for the people who bought this game, who supported this game. So, yeah, it's nuts. So, anyway, guys, okay, we're gonna wrap this up, man. Thank you guys for coming through. Listen, you know what I'm saying, if you like the content, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, that follow button. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get ready to start coming back here probably in about a month or two. Start thinking about doing giveaways. And so then, you know what I'm saying, and try to rework on the Patreon. So again, so like if you guys sit there and the more that you come and, you know, $1, $2, $5, whatever, want to be a part of the Patreon, we're going to redo that, got to redo the Patreon. But I want to start doing game giveaways and stuff like that. So if the Patreon gets really good and hot, or memberships and stuff start getting up there, then I can sit there and start making bigger stuff. So like just for instance, like at the end of the year, I want to do like a big game giveaway of like something like Grand Theft Auto, like one of the best games of the year, like something like that. Like I would be ready to do that. But it's all on you guys that want to show the support, because I want to give back for sure. And I want to also get a better mic and stuff like that. But and I mean my Elgato, I'm just gonna go up. My Go XLR is going strong, going good, but I think I might want to go with a different with Elgato for the soundboard and stuff like that. But anyway, that stuff, you know, I could take care of that myself, but I'm just thinking more of I say that, but for the game giveaways, you know what I'm saying, I want to start doing more stuff like that. We start off small, and then like I said, I want to work on that Patreon. So you know what I'm saying, because it's so dated. I mean, we put so much work into that, and then for it to just not to be there. But I do appreciate a couple of people that's still there, you know what I'm saying, for the Patreon. So anyway, and then also, like I said, the memberships, thank you guys for that. But yeah, I want to start doing those giveaways. So be looking out for that. Start off with something small, and then gradually, hopefully, if it really gets to popping, then we can maybe try to do something to do something real great for the community, like trying to bring in a console. Good Lord, can you imagine doing a giveaway of a console with these prices? Yeah, that would be huge. So, but yeah, we're a long way from there. But anyway, I do appreciate you guys as always coming through. Thank you as always, Stanley, for the love. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that you appreciate the streams that I do. I will be back tomorrow night for fight night. I will be playing something. I won't play Tokon until Sunday. But I'm going to be playing some Killer Instinct at some point. So I don't know if it'll be tomorrow night or if it'll be Sunday, like do a little double header of some fighters, but we'll be playing some fighters or whatever tomorrow. What I'm trying, I got to try to beat this Baldur's Gate 3, man. This game is so goddamn massive. So hell, I might stream that. You know what I'm saying? You never know. You might need to see what your boy do and how he gets down on that, because it'll be a long stream for sure, because I am been on this like crazy. So anyway, thank you guys so much. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Peace.